Hi, today I'm going to talk about something that you might not think is totally related to cravings, but I would say that it really, really is, and that's guilty pleasures. So, we are using guilty pleasures in the same way as we're using food most of the time. So I just quickly looked up the definition of guilty pleasures. So that is something that we enjoy despite feeling that it's not generally held in high regard. So in other words, it's something that you shouldn't enjoy or like, but you do it anyway. Okay? So we are using these guilty pleasures in the same way as we're using food, and that is to make us feel good in the moment. So it's some sort of instant gratification. So we are escaping our negative emotions into something that is very temporary and just gives us a pleasure high right now. So there's a release of the neurotransmitters in your brain right now, and that will obviously go down later on. So that's again just dopamine and some other things going on there, but let's say it's dopamine to make it easy to just wrap your head around. So the thing is that we have, so let's say we normally have food, and that's what we go to get rid of our negative emotions or to dull them so that we don't feel them as badly. And then we have these other guilty pleasures as well. And you know that when we are eating against our will, almost, but obviously we make the decision ourselves, but it doesn't always feel like it, we often feel very bad about it afterwards. And the same thing can be true for guilty pleasures. We feel really good in the moment, and then a little bit later, we don't feel so good about it. So now we have two, or even more, most people have many of them, ways of making ourselves or telling ourselves that we are worthless because we're doing this, and we're not good people because we're doing this, and why can't we ever do anything right, and so on. So we have many ways of berating ourselves and putting ourselves down, which will probably lead to even more of the overeating behavior or the guilty pleasure behavior, because again, we need to escape from our negative emotions. So I'm going to approach this from a shopaholic kind of view because it's kind of easy to understand. Many people can relate to it. I'm not one of them, but many people go shopping on a very regular basis because it gives them such satisfaction. So some people shop for themselves, and there can be, most of the time it's a lot of clothes, shoes, jewelry, whatever it could be. Other people might choose to shop for their children or their pets. So I might want to choose to shop lots of dog beds for my dogs. I do have a few. I could use a few more because I'm just moving them around from room to room, but I don't want to decorate my house with dog beds. Some people are buying clothes for their dogs. Now, one of my dogs is really cold in winter, so she has a couple of shirts, but what drives me crazy is when people are buying these dog clothes that, looking like little Santa, and they have reindeer horns and all of those kind of things. And that makes me crazy because dogs, they are not toys, and they shouldn't be wearing those kind of things, in my opinion. I have a very strong opinion about that. People buy cute clothes for their children, and then it gives them immense pleasure to watch their children running around in these little cute things, and they can talk to other parents about how cute they are, and it's this whole thing, and they need to have a whole wardrobe full of cute outfits for the children, and that's what's giving them pleasure. Some people might choose to buy home decor, for example, things that you can have that will make your home look nicer. And there's a danger in that as well. Sometimes we buy something and afterwards we change our mind almost because it didn't really fit with the rest of the things that you have. But it's too much hassle to bring it back, and you don't really know what to do with it, and you put it in a box and you think maybe later on when we repainted the room, and you just start accumulating a lot of stuff that you don't want to get rid of because we are emotionally attached to these things. we bought them and it made us feel really good and we really like it, so we can't just get rid of it. And it's the same thing with the clothes. A little bit later, maybe the shirt that you bought was a little bit too tight, you're not feeling really comfortable in it, but you are going to lose weight, so you keep it. 6 months down the line, you still haven't lost weight, and you just think, nah, I didn't like it that much anyway, and just put it in the bottom drawer with the other clothes that don't fit. Your children might not want to wear those clothes anymore, or you have had them wearing those clothes so many times now that it's not exciting anymore. You're used to it. And this pleasure just goes away, and then you get the credit card bill and you're wondering, why on earth did I do this? Why did I spend money buying these things for the house that I didn't even like, or these shoes that don't fit properly and it just makes my feet hurt. And here we go again, you start berating yourself for making these decisions and you're not feeling good about it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go and buy more things that will maybe be right this time, or will you just go and bury your sorrows in a tub of ice cream? So as you're having these underlying thoughts of negative emotions, that you never say what you never do what you say you're gonna do. You said you would lose weight and you didn't. What a waste of money to buy all these things that you never wear, or that don't even match the rest of the decor in the house, and so on. So you will most likely start to feel really overwhelmed and indecisive about what to do, and frustrated, and you will start to berate yourself. And some people, this is probably more me actually, might start to just check out. We don't feel anything. We just like blank. It's all good. I just ignore it. And that's not a really good thing either, because then you don't feel your feelings at all, but they are still there bubbling, and not feeling anything is not really positive, so you will still want to overeat. So I just wanted to bring this topic up because obviously when we're trying to tackle a behavior such as cravings and we want to get rid of that, we also need to acknowledge that there are other areas in our lives that we might use right now to escape our negative emotions. So there are other areas that you can apply this technique with, just feeling your emotions. So if you're a shopaholic or whatever it might be, if you are feeling a need to go and shop something, then just have a little think about, what is it that you're trying to escape from? Are you trying to distract yourself from something, some sort of negative feeling? Is it, maybe your marriage isn't perfect right now? Are you in a desperate need to connect with other people maybe? Maybe you're just feeling lonely, or you really don't like the job that you have, and so on. So just try and figure out what it is, and then process those emotions to get rid of this behavior. So don't try to, if you was to say that, you're putting yourself on a budget for how much you can shop, you're still allowing the behavior. So that is like saying, yeah, I can eat every day, but not too much, or you're still kind of letting your brain run free with this. So rather than doing that, just process those emotions and make sure that when you do go shopping, it is because there is a genuine need for it. It's not just a craving for shopping, for example. So try to find out the cause of the shopping, address the cause, or even better, address the emotions and then address the cause, so that you don't have to escape your life. Because we're here, we want to live our lives, but we want to live them from a positive kind of outlook. So just try to avoid and beat yourself up, and try and create more positive emotions about it. Because sometimes it's also just how you're thinking about things. And if you're thinking negative things about pretty much everything, you're going to feel pretty crappy. But some of these things, you can turn them around and actually think more positive about them. I'm not saying that everything in life is positive, not everything is, but some things you can probably find a different way of thinking about it. And I approached this a little bit in the previous video that I made earlier. So you can go and have a look at that. What did I call it again? My brain is just freezing. So the video that I posted before this one anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to talk any longer, but then just know that if you have other areas of your life where you can't really process your emotions, but you have managed to do with cravings, you can just apply the same technique to those areas of your life. And if you've done it with cravings, you can do it with anything, I promise you that. So I hope this has been helpful and that it's been interesting. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so, because that helps me reaching more people and obviously helping more people. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you out there. Bye.